they are is essentially that when you listen to accented speech, the way you perceive words in your own language changes. Essentially, different accents have different acoustical characteristics. For example, in Spanish, the way a Spanish accented speaker might produce the sounds pa and ta are the way that an English speaker might produce the sounds ba and da. And so my thesis sort of explores the effects that this contrast has on the way that American English speakers perceive foreign accents. We found that essentially this does happen. This change, this difference elicits a change in reaction in English listeners. And previously it's been shown in sort of, very lab-tested scenarios with like lists of words and like very, sort of controlled settings. And mine sort of approaches it from a more naturalistic side. Sure. So when I took my first linguistics class at WashU, this was sort of the first thing that really pulled me in. I grew up bilingual in English and Polish, and I've always sort of been interested in like the underlying mechanisms to that. And hearing about this sort of like blew my mind, and it's the reason I became a linguistics major. So when I found out that this is something that I could study as my honors project, it was sort of a no-brainer. So I think this is sort of important in two very different ways. The first is just that the world is becoming more globalized every day, and people are interacting with people from all sorts of walks of life all the time, especially in a setting like a university. And I believe that this research sort of gets at the core of this communication and how we really understand one another beyond just like the surface. And then also, as far as like the tech sector goes, where people are integrating, speech processing more and more into technology. So understanding how the human mind processes language can be implemented into technology as well.